3, 2, 1. Are we ready? G'day there, my name is Toby, and this is my gorgeous partner, Tamzin. And together, this is our brand spanking new YouTube channel called Mountain Moon Homestead.
Welcome.
Which is so exciting to launch, to bring live here from the rainforest to you. And now on this channel, we aim to capture all of our life, which is a lot. There's a lot going on living on 250 acres of rainforest in the middle of nowhere. So we get up to some crazy stuff. We've got some amazing stories, amazing journey, and just constantly learning, evolving, and growing. And we want to share that. We want to inspire. We want to lead by example, living the change that we want to see in the world. But that can be confronting. So what better way to mitigate all that and share it onto YouTube and build community? So that's what we're up to. That's what this space represents. We're going to be showcasing all of the beautiful things that come with living on beautiful Wirramai and Biripi country that is connected with the land, connected with Pachamama, the universe, the stars, the cosmos, and with you. So with that all being said, my name is Toby. I am a yogini. I'm a digital architect. I am a lover of a good old bushwalk, time with these guys, and just being in this beautiful place that I get to call home. So that's a little bit about me. I'm going to go pass it over to Tam so she can tell you guys about how we may have gotten here, a bit about herself, and the future plans of Mountain Moon Homestead.
I'll finish up by saying you're also a very wise and powerful man, because you are half the reason why we are here. And that is exactly what this YouTube channel is about, is a place to broadcast, to share, and not saying that we are leading in any form of a hierarchical sense. We're simply sharing our vulnerability, ourselves as the divine yin and yang, Shakti and Shiva in that divine dance, as a duo, communally, intergenerationally, on the land, connecting back with our pagan, which means people of the earth, roots. And we're about to drop some absolute wisdom on this channel, because we have some deep chats, deep reflections, and there's absolutely nowhere to hide from your subconscious mind out here. And so these chats that we've been having recently have led to a whole new level that we've just decided, that's it. Now is the age of Aquarius, and it's time to share. It is time to co-create in collaboration, in connection, and to live as the future that we wish for so badly. Live it now. Be it now. Embody the truth.
No fear.
No fear.
Just like throw yourself into the deep end and just live it.
Fear doesn't exist outside of your mind. I learned this one recently. But that is what led us to here, is we didn't have fear. In a time when there was so much to fear, we thought, let's go and face the fear and make it our friend and see what it is that we were really meant to be scared of. And in doing that, it was laughable and allowed us to awaken and see with such clarity what this existence really is and why we're here. And so we have just, we were living in the city, 7 years in Melbourne, fashion, finance, the typical roles of what we had been conditioned to think would make us happy. And we looked around, and to no surprise, everything external did not bring any happiness to us, because we were seeking it so external rather than internal. And so 3 years ago now, we decided that's it. We're moving to the bush, and my intuition led me, and like a wild woman I am, I said, let's go into the middle of the bush now. And you being the Shiva, you made it happen.
Well, yeah, I mean, look, just on that, you know, where we are right now, you have so much responsibility for why we're here. Yeah, you. Yeah, you, Tams. You are the reason. It's I had to follow Tamsin's lead. I had to follow her gut instinct. I had to follow intuition. And women are leading us right now, you know. There's so often where I just have to take a step back and just allow Tamzin to genuinely guide from the heart. And that's something that I want to promote and preach on this channel, because we need to be living and following our women. Living for our women and following our women. It's like the one thing that I'm really learning at the moment, and I'm learning it for Tams, I'm learning it for the future generations, I'm learning it for our children that may be. So that's something that massive that I just want to chat about before we get into this further, because Tam says finance and fashion, but in reality it's more so like kind of deep introspective philosopher, and then like batshit crazy fucking madman
Psychonaut.
scientist. That's kind of more the dynamic duo roles that we play, and like
Oh, now more so,
yeah.
yeah. And it definitely is women because it's Shakti, but that doesn't mean that it's not the Shakti within all men as well. Shakti, Shiva, yin and yang, sun and moon. That is within all of us, and
Hence our name, Mountain Moon.
Mountain
Ah.
Moon. And just the Shakti and Shiva energies that are leading. I appreciate you saying that it is the embodiments of Shakti that are leading, because, well, I'm just a conduit. It's not me. I am that I am. I'm not Tamzin, some great, wise, blah, blah, blah. My ego likes to think I am, but I'm not. I am just a conduit for the great message that is the evolution of human consciousness. And you, therefore, make these manifestations, this drawing on this innate wisdom to something greater than you, my beautiful Shiva, create it into something tangible in this physical 3D reality, which is also a very, very important role and couldn't be done without you. I really want you to know that.
Thanks, Tam.
And that's why this connection that we've been just showing here now is something that we need to share, because there has been so much that Toby and I have 8 years, is our 8th year together now. 8 years has led us to have this sincerity, this honesty, this connection, this integrity with each other, and it's time to start sharing it, because it is the only way of the future is co-creation.
All right, so our main goals and projects that we've got going on here at Mountain Moon Homestead coming up in 2024, this amazing, divine, astrological time in universal collective consciousness are, drumroll please, our incredible food forest that we've got going on. So we planted 70 fruit trees here when we first got up to this beautiful part of rainforest. We've got around 50 at the moment. There's a few that have dwindled, so we get, but they're all starting to simmer out, and we expected this, but more into the food forest, showing how we look after the trees, giving back to the soil, growing our soil. That's the number one goal that we have for Mountain Moon Homestead. I know that's like literally the only thing is let's grow our soil. We need better soil. So that's going to be a massive thing, using biodynamic, permaculture and syntropic principles to do so. That's our main driving factor. The next one is looking after ourselves. How do we feed ourselves? How can we move away from that centralized system and live on the land, off the land, in harmony with the land completely? So that's chickens, that's beehives, that's a buffalo, perhaps a goat, we're not sure, but we've got a whole farm area as well. That's completely separate from our home lot, that we could definitely put, an animal or two, a bit of livestock to get some milk, some cheese going later on. So these are the bigger goals, to really look after ourselves, provide for ourselves, and provide for our community.
Yeah, that's the main thing, is the community, to be honest. So we've got lots of space here on our homeland to do market rows, which will then provide all of this fresh organic produce to the community at a viable price for everybody, which is key, because that is how we are able to actually eat, and food is our medicine, and heal ourselves is through organic fresh produce. And we have, like Toby said, we grow the soil. So we have so much soil out here that is just ready to be full of fruits, vegetables, more fruit trees than we already have vegetables. And I'm looking right now at the market row areas that we want to set up, because selling that through Mountain Moon Homestead, either on our Etsy with all of our beautiful organic dried herbs, or through market side stalls and collective co-ops of organic growers in the community. That's definitely big projects and big plans here that we're just starting to taste the fruits of the labor for the last 3 years of setting up the garden so
Yeah,
far.
perfect. Well, very well said. Absolutely well said, my queen.
Yeah.
The garden, and Tamzin has led that. Just, really getting that fundamental information on what we need to set up, how we need to set it up, so then we can.
Thunder. It's setting up as well. Australia has such a high density of vitamins and minerals in our natural bush foods.
Yes.
And the knowledge is just, some would say, not there, although it is. And so that's something else that we're super passionate about, because
wild foraging
on 250 acres.
Yeah.
It's naive to think that we aren't already growing goodness knows what. Like we just ate sandpaper figs.
Oh.
We have a whole creek. We have a whole creek that flows through the beautiful 4 or 5 acres here, and just within the little homestead area, and they are covered in huge sandpaper figs that are all in fruition right now. So there are thousands of sandpaper figs down there that we can simply pick and dry and harvest and sell fresh or sell dried, and we just want to share. It's the age of Aquarius, and it's time to start sharing that and creating that self-sufficiency within ourselves, like Tobe said, moving away from that centralized system, rerouting. And that's what we have been doing for the past 3 years, like these beautiful big bamboo. We've been growing, we've been rooting and gaining deeper knowledge and wisdom to then be able to offer it to the collective. Salvatore! And here we are doing that. So that's the second. Sal! Hey!
Come on.
Shut up.
So finally, what we're here to do on Mountain Moon Homestead is grow community. Like we're here to grow our soil, we're here to grow our community and interconnection. So that takes form in so many ways, whether that be through getting people out here on the land, through information that we share virtually, or simply by having a yarn. Now, this is something that we have adopted from the Australian culture, and we want to share it with the world and take it back, because there's something so humble about sitting back, having a chat, and having a yarn, and getting clear, and just sharing. Because right now we need to be vulnerable, we need to share from the heart, we need to be open, and that's the only way of the future. And so we're here to encourage that conversation, and we look to our ancient ancestors, the ancestors of this land that we are so honored to call home. We look to them for the guidance and the wisdom, and that is through the word, through the songs of this great planet that we all get to call home.
Definitely. Toby and I are deeply rooted in the belief that speaking things through is key. And the way that we are able to continue to pass on important knowledge, wisdom, and just have general conversations and discussions is through sitting down, being, listening, and speaking clearly with clarity to each other. And we are truly two ancient philosophical druids out here, reincarnated once more in the hills, just pondering on everything from the microcosm to the macrocosm, and all of that in between, from, like Toby said, the ancestors of this land that we are so honored to walk upon, the Watamai, the Gringai, the Biripai people of this land, as well as then our ancestors in our own personal bloodlines, and where they have been, where they have lived, what they know. We are so able to touch into the Akashic records, so they're called, but we're so able to touch into them, to tap into them, and to gain all of this knowledge and bring it forth into conversations that then become tangible, so that we can actually embody these ancient truths and live as the change we wish to see. And so that's why Tobes and I are so passionate about having a yarn, sitting down, speaking. And that's what this channel will also broadcast, is a lot of the conversations that we have out here on Pachimama, because her energy comes through so loud and clear. Her knowledge is so needed, and her voice is so heard. You don't have a choice out here to not live as a conduit for that great message. And we think that it's time that we start sharing these conversations that we have with the collective, with you all. So if you've made it this far, this is the first yarn, and thank you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, my queen. So that all being said, if this all feels aligned to you and you want to support us, firstly, give us a like and a comment on this video, and any part of it that you want to learn a bit more on, or anything that popped up and you have a question, please leave it in a comment below. And the second thing is subscribe so you can stay updated for when we post more content. That helps an absolute great deal as well. So if you can help us with those two things, we'll be providing the absolute amazing yarns along the way.
And of course, we will put in all of both Toby's and my personal business, the links to either of our platforms, Patreons, that you can support us individually, that then just feeds into the collective dream that is Mountain Moon Homestead. And we've also created a separate Patreon where we will now be sharing all of the categories that fall into the umbrella term Mountain Moon Homestead, because there's a lot. There's a lot, from living on the land, from living together, working through things individually, in a relationship, intergenerationally, puppies on the land, bush tucker, syntropic forests, loud sausage dogs, and everything in between. And so that will all be in greater detail shared on our Patreon. So if you do really want to support us there and buy a fruit tree through signing up, then I will link all of this under the video, and we hope to see you there. But until then, thank you for joining us, and
Too many more to come.
many more yarns to come.